and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. And for the Grue Rume Show today, I got a very awesome guest, and he's an actor, and he stars in the current season of the new TV series of Chucky, one of my favorite horror series of all time. And he's in another film that's out now called Hard Miles, and I'm talking about Jackson Kelly. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Room. And my interview with Jackson will be coming up very soon. Jackson is a super, super sweet guy. He's very nice and down to earth and chill. And he's an amazing actor too. I actually got a chance to speak to him a little bit, and he's really, really cool. And I'm really looking forward to having a talk with him about Chucky, Hard Miles, and everything else. I excuse me, my allergies are killing me. So stay tuned for the interview, and as always, welcome to my nightmare. So stay tuned. All right, buddy. Welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for taking time and coming on. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rocco. Excited to be here.
Thanks, man. Thank you. So the first thing I want to start out asking you, I usually ask like a typical question is what drew you to want to act? Like when did your passion start for it?
Oh, that's a great question. It's one of those things that's like always been in me, always been a part of me. Like ever since I was a little kid, like was never really into like toys or like action figures or trains or anything or video games. Like I just love playing pretend, and I had like a costume box in my room, and I would just play dress up with my brother, and
Oh wow.
just sort of that playfulness has always been there. And I was obsessed with movies growing up too. Like Star Wars was big, Indiana
Yeah.
Jones, Harry Potter, and I was just obsessed with those characters and wanted to be them. And when I figured out that that was a job and that's what people got to do, I was like, oh, well, that's it. That's what I want to be.
Well, yeah, I mean everything you love doing is all wrapped up into one, right?
Right, right, yeah.
And I saw like you grew up in Texas, and was it hard to get back and forth to like movie and film all editions?
Well, I actually I had a very normal childhood. I did not grow up auditioning or in the
Okay.
industry or even aware of it at all. I was just a normal kid doing his thing, and none of my family's in the industry. But
Oh wow.
when I started when I started thinking that this was something I wanted to do, I was around 17, 18. So I really didn't get started until after I moved uh, out of the house. So yeah.
And how was that move like going from Texas to California, and did it take you a while to get used to that kind of living? Because it's like more like free and open over there, right?
Yeah, definitely. I grew up in a kind of a small town called Waco, and like I was saying before, there's no film industry or anything like that out there, and I was kind of a country kid, like very st stereotypical Texas boy. So yeah, moving to somewhere like LA was a big change, but I moved during COVID. I moved in
Oh,
April of 2020. And so the city was shut down and I didn't know anyone. And so it was very isolating at the start. And
oh wow.
no one was even working. So I kind of didn't need to be there. But it's good to, like be pushed into the deep end. And as human beings, we sort of adapt to our surroundings. So at the start, it was rough, but, eventually you find your footing and yeah.
Wow, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting time to move there, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of didn't plan that well. But again, like at the start of COVID, everyone thought it was going to be over in
That's
two
true.
weeks. You're
That's
like, oh,
true.
this will be a quick thing. And then fast forward, 2 years, we're still in it. So,
I know, it's crazy.
yeah.
And like how's the food like there? Like I'm a big like food person. So
Okay.
like so do you like what are some of the places you like going out to eat in California?
Okay, this is funny because there's a one spot near kind of near where I live, that is a Texas themed restaurant, and I love it. And that's so bad, but it's called Home State tacos. They're really good. But I'm trying to think of a good like LA. Oh, my thing is out of focus here. Okay, I'm a big like I've become LA-ified, I guess. Let me turn my camera off and back on because the focus is
Okay.
going nuts on me.
There you
Okay.
go. There you go. You're good
There
again.
we go. I'm back. Um, so I'm like now I like drink smoothies because I'm so LA, but
There you
I
go.
have like the best smoothie spot ever. It's kind of like a mom and pop shop. It's in
Okay.
Los Feliz off of Hillhurst, I believe. It's called Earth Organic. Get the number 6. It's called Crazy Cacao. You will become addicted. I don't know if they're putting crack in them or what, but you will see me there. I'm telling you, you will see me there getting that smoothie.
Damn, those smoothies are really that good.
That's the spot. I'm telling you, man, they shouldn't be allowed to be this good. And then, oh my God, well, this shouldn't count because they just shut down, but there's a Cuban place near me that was so good that they just shut down.
Oh
And that
no.
was like my go-to spot. I love Cuban food. That's like my new thing. So I go through
Nice.
I go through phases where I'm like obsessed with one genre of food, and I'm like in a Cuban phase right now.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
now you have to search for like another one that's gonna
I
be
know. I gotta
almost
find a
as
new
good.
spot. Yeah, yeah.
So what's your smoothie that you like the best? Like when you go there, do they know ex what what your order is when they see your face?
Yeah, we're good friends. I know the people that work there. And at first I thought they didn't like me, but now we have a good relationship. It took a while to break the ice, I think. Um, but it's like the unhealthiest smoothie because I'm like a big it's like chocolate and peanut butter, so it's not healthy, but it's just like a dessert for breakfast. It tastes like a Snickers bar. Like if you
Oh,
blended a
really?
Snickers bar with chocolate milk or something, it's like there's no way it's healthy. But it also has like dates and walnuts and maybe a banana in it.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know. I don't know what their secret is. It seems so simple, but then it's like magic in a cup. So
Wow. I mean,
yeah.
I'll take your word for it. I'm allergic to chocolate.
What? I'm so
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, I
Oh
know,
my
right?
God. How have you survived? Okay. Wait, so what's when you need something sweet, what's your go-to?
My like sweet,
How do you avoid chocolate? Like
I
that's
just have to get like anything vanilla or
mm,
strawberry or like any kind of donut, I guess, and
yeah. Oh, that's
stuff
tough,
like
man.
that. Yeah, yeah. Like I
How'd you figure that out? How old were you when you realized?
I was a kid, but my mom told me the first time I ever kicked in her stomach was when she ate chocolate.
Wow.
So I think I was
She
allergic
knew.
to chocolate from the
Like, please
womb.
stop. Don't do this. You're having a reaction in there.
I know, right? Exactly.
Wow, that's hilarious, actually.
Yeah. But I remember one time I went to Hershey, the home of chocolate. And as soon as I went in there, like the smell, I was like throwing up like all over the park and I had to run out.
Wow. Oh, you've got it bad then. This is serious.
That was when I was a
Man.
kid. I handle it better now. Like I could actually be around it and smell it without getting sick. But
Okay.
I can't eat it though.
Man. Wow. I'm just sorry. I feel so bad. It's great. I'm sorry, but it's great. I'm like, I have a big sweet tooth, so that's like my thing. But
Oh, okay. So that,
you know what my favorite thing is? Like, is when I'm watching a movie,
mhm.
is Raisinets.
Oh,
I go crazy for Raisinets. Dark chocolate covered Raisinets. That's the key to my heart right there. That is
they
just
they look amazing. Like I love raisins, but I can't eat unfortunately the
mm,
raisinets.
raisins. Yeah, I'm kind of a grandpa. I love raisins and I love applesauce.
Yes.
Like just
Yes.
old man foods.
Nah, I love them too. Like raisins, like whenever I eat like a oat oatmeal like or cereal, I get like a handful of raisins and throw it
Throw
in.
them on there.
Oh my
Throw
god,
them on.
yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking.
I know, right? Exactly. And so like when you first broke into the world of acting, film, television, and like your first like big role, like your breakout role was Lucky Hank, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And from then you went on to a lot of other things. And what I like, because of course I watch you in Chucky, and Hard Miles is out now, and you're so good at playing your roles, and like you can actually like see and feel the passion, like when a fan or like is watching you on television or film, like like for me, like I could see like the passion you have for like film and acting, like it comes out when you're doing your roles, because you're so good at it. And how long did it take take you to reach that level?
Oh man. Well, I mean, yeah, the film industry was is it's a beast. It's tough. I mean, it's um and I knew nothing getting into it, and I think I had this sort of naivete of thinking that it was um even possible to succeed in. But it took me a while. I mean, I think everyone's path is different, and you hear those sort of like overnight success stories or what have you, and then you hear other stories of like Bryan Cranston's career is one that I really admire. Of he was a working actor since he was in his 20s, but
Okay.
he wasn't like a household name until he's in his 50s with
Yeah,
Breaking Bad. So it's like it looks like he just like appears, but it's like no, there's years of work behind it. And so for me, like I said, I got started when I was around 17 and was not didn't really start to really work until probably 1920-ish.
okay.
So a few years. But again, it's a slow build, and I think I'm nowhere near the where I want to be. So I'm still working on climbing that ladder and chasing those goals.
Yeah, definitely. And what's good about the show you're in now, Chucky, is like Brad Dourif like never was on set for like Chucky films, and now for the TV series he came on, and you were in like the scene that Brad Dourif is actually in. So like you can learn from people like him, because
Mm,
Brad Dourif has been doing this for since the 80s,
right.
and like to actually learn from someone like him.
Yeah, it's so special. He is a legend. He is an icon. And you're right, he's been around forever and been done so much amazing work and projects over the year. And he's really wise. And I mean, you just watch him. He's a seasoned pro. He's so comfortable on set. He's playful with the material. And I wish I got to spend more time with him and pick his brain because he's really a fascinating guy
Oh
and
my god.
and lives up to the hype. I'll say that.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
And like the first horror role you had wasn't Chucky, it was VHS, and that's like a whole like horror series too. Like they make so many of those films. And what was your experience like being part of that series?
That was one of my favorite filming experiences ever because it was so unique.
Mm,
It's like as you know, it's found footage
yeah.
movie, and so the style of filmmaking is unlike any other work I've done in the sense that we are really recording this movie on an old VHS film camera.
Oh,
So at Video Village, where the monitor is, it's not these big flat screen TVs. It's like an old box TV that like looks really grainy and is like this wide and super heavy.
oh
And
my
that's what we're
God.
watching the footage back on. And we have to like plug the camera into the TV to watch back what we did. So it's like it felt super old school. And it's like this little flip camera that we're holding. And because it's found footage, it's not supposed to look pretty. We're not
Well, yeah.
staging shots of, oh, you get over his shoulder and we're gonna get you here. And it's like the camera's pointed at the ground at our feet and it's shaking because we're running. and then you just a lot of like the challenge of making a found footage movie is it really needs to be believable. You can't if you can tell someone's acting, it's going to ruin it and it's going to
Hmm.
take away the reality of it. You want it to seem as real and authentic as possible, so the audience believes that, oh, this could be a tape that someone just found. So it kind of opens the doors to, you can step over each other's lines, you can talk over each other, interrupt each other, you can say you can forget what you're saying, you can kind of go off the rails a little bit. So it's more of a free for all with the filmmaking, where we have a general idea of, okay, here's what needs to happen in this
Hmm.
scene, but it's a lot more loose and in the moment, which I love. And yeah, sometimes they would give us to have us hold the camera, so we're sort of
Really?
being the cinematographer and shooting stuff, and you can like zoom in on your friend's nose and like just like stuff teenagers would do, because that movie was we're set it was set in 1999, and we're just
Yeah.
a bunch of like, I mean, our characters in the segment that I did called Shredding, we're supposed to be the villains, and so when we start getting killed off, the audience, I feel like the audience is supposed to cheer and be like, "Thank God that kid!" Like my character Caleb, he's awful, he's the worst. So when he dies, it's like, sweet,
Oh, no.
thank goodness that guy's out of here.
Oh man. And then you go from something like that to one of the biggest horror franchises ever,
Yeah,
Child's Play, Chucky, and our famous killer doll. So so have you, when you knew you got the role, like did you go back and watch like the films or the television series?
yeah. I mean, you have to do your research, and there's a lot there. There's a lot of lore
There
built up
is.
over the years since the 80s. So, yeah, just being aware of the world. So there's 7 movies to watch and 2 seasons of television. So I got to it pretty quick. I was like, all right, I started from the beginning and watched them through. And let me tell you, if you haven't seen the movies in a while, it is fun to just do a Chucky
Oh
marathon
my
and
God, I know.
start from the beginning and go through them all and then go through the show, because when it was just Chucky was all I was, eat, sleep, breathing for months, and learning the whole like all the voodoo rules and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
lore of like, wait, this person like can do this, but then there's this rule, and like it was just building an understanding of, okay, what's the history and where we are now, because the last film, the show picks up where the last film
Well,
left
yeah,
off. So
exactly.
they're never skipping a beat. It's not, the show's not a separate thing. It's a
Hmm.
continuation. And so I really felt the need to have that, know the history of the films before jumping into that world.
Oh, all right. Yeah, because like you said, if you just start watching the television series and you're like, okay, how did it get to this point? Like,
Right. You'd just be
like
so
it
confused.
exactly, exactly. So like I'm happy to see how he made it go from the last film to the series. And you
Mhm.
have like the new kids that are in it, plus the old school, like with Andy and his sister was in the first 2 seasons. And so it was a good mixture of like the people from the films and like the newer batch.
Right. And that's what's so great about the creator, Don Mancini, is he's making it for the fans, for people like
Oh
you
yeah.
and me that love Chucky and know the history of it. And all those, there's so many nods in every episode to the history of Chucky, and Easter eggs or references to stuff that happened in Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, that the real fans are, when they see it, they're going to appreciate it and they're going to acknowledge it. And Don is sort of saying, I see you, this is for you guys, this is for the fans who've been around, and that's great, that's beautiful. So yeah, I wanted to, you want to be a part of the club and the
Oh
community, and
yeah.
it is I mean, the horror community at whole is a beautiful community, but Chucky itself, the fan base is so diehard and
It
so
is.
just passionate, and it's a beautiful thing.
And the funny thing with the television series is like you can actually probably place bets on how many times Devon Sawa is gonna die.
Right. Yeah, yeah, at this point it's just it's not Chucky unless Devin's dead and then alive again.
I remember after the first season, and I saw him come back, and I'm like, wait, he's dead. Wait, oh, it's a different character. Okay.
Right. Right. And that started it all. Well, really, it started with him being playing twins. Like that alone
Yeah.
is crazy. And then yeah, coming back season two is just a different guy. And I thought it's so funny how they explain it, like,
Hmm.
like, or maybe not acknowledge it. Like, wait, that guy kind of looks like my dad, like, or Jake's character, or them seeing the president and being like,
Yeah.
wait, doesn't the president kind of look like that priest we had at our old school? You know, I don't know. It's just funny.
And in this season, like Devin plays your father, the president, and I mean, the president gets killed, and then a body double, and it's like, so now you're seeing
Yeah,
like you're like Grant seeing his like father twice get
yeah.
spoiler get killed in front of Chuck, getting killed in front of him, and it's just like what?
It's crazy, man. When I read that in the script, I was like, what is what is happening? And that was one of the things where like when I was like the first four or no, 5 episodes for Grant, they were I had my finger on the pulse a little bit more of being able to relate to him and the stuff he was going through,
Mhm.
with like it was just normal teenage stuff,
Oh
like
yeah.
having your heart broken or feeling like you're being used or feeling distant from your parents and just trying to figure out who you are and feeling like an outsider at school
Mhm.
or getting bullied. Like it's a lot like stuff every teenager goes through, and I'm able to relate to Gran and pull from my own life. And then episode 6, it's like, okay, a doll is real, ghosts are real, your dad is dead, he has a identical twin, like, and then all of a sudden, every sense of like reality that I'm like able to use to help my performance is just gone. And I was like, I'll try here, but it's a little difficult. But those are Chucky stakes,
Yes,
so you got to
definitely.
bring in because yeah, it's just I was really I kept going to the director like, when they tell me a doll is real, how am I supposed to react to that? And he's like, dude, like just don't worry about it too much. Like it'll be fine.
And it
Um,
came off well.
well, thank you, Rocco. I appreciate that. But it is like I was trying to take it as serious as possible. Like if my friend really told me like Bigfoot, they saw Bigfoot or something, I'd be like, I would never believe them.
I know.
You know what I mean? And then you see it, and then you can't even imagine what it's like. But you kind of got to just go with it,
Yeah, exactly.
roll with the punches with Chucky.
Because you're right. But like when the world first sees Grant, like you know, Grant is coming off as like a typical teenager at first. Like he don't want to be around his parents. Parents are the
Yeah,
the head of everything, and
yeah,
you see him in his room and he's smoking weed and he's dealing with like a whole all the different things around him, all the different things a teenager is actually going through. But like, and then like later on, like you get to see like the good side of him, the nice side, the caring side, that side that's fallen in love, but that makes him vulnerable too. And like, how do you play like all those different layers of him? Like, the vulnerable, the nice, the person that stands off against his parents. Like, it's like a whole
mm.
bunch of different mixes.
Yeah. I feel like that's every teenager, right? Is just all these hormones and things at play, and you don't know who you are yet. You're trying to figure out your identity and your place in the world, and it's a complicated time. And Grant, though, I honestly finding him came through a lot of conversations with Don because at his core, he is a good kid.
Yeah.
He's has so much love in his heart for his family, but he just doesn't know how to show it sometimes. And that was the thing that we needed to hold on to, was like he does have this heart of gold, but he just doesn't
Hmm.
wear it on his sleeve. And he is caring, he is sweet, but it's one of those things when you're a teenager and you're worried so much about how others are perceiving you and the world is perceiving you, you're much more inclined to put up a mask or put up your walls and try to protect yourself. And I think Grant, being the president's son, is in this very defensive, protective mode. Um, and it can be quite untrusting. And, he's in this such a specific thing. And he's desperate for real friendship. So when he
Oh yeah.
meets Jake and Devin and Lexi, and he seems to have this organic relationship with these kids that are his age that he's so longing for. All he wants to do is have them like him,
I know
and so
exactly.
and so in order to get them to like him, he's trying to like flex his money and his power and his like, yeah, I live in the White House, it's whatever, because he thinks that like that's why they like him,
Yeah.
but it's not true. And so, it's like Lexi's sort of able to break down some of those walls. But yeah, he can come off at the beginning, he can come off pretty obnoxious and arrogant, but that's just coming from a place of he's trying to impress these kids. He's
Oh,
trying
I
to
know.
do it so he can have friends. And thankfully, I was so worried the audience wouldn't see that, but thankfully from the response I've gotten from what I've seen online is the audience is smart. They're able to pick up on that like, okay, this is a front. This kid is just trying to make friends, but he's screwing it up horribly. But yeah.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right about that because when Lexi comes around, you're you kind of feel bad for Grant because like she's coming into the fold to find she's trying to to ask, she's trying to get around him so she could get to Chucky.
Hmm.
And but then she starts to break down a little bit and she starts falling for him. And how do you feel about like the whole Lexi Grant relationship? Because I mean, let's face it, at first she's using him, like she's using him
Yeah.
really bad just to get to the doll. And
Yeah.
but then, you see the feelings are becoming real.
Yeah. And I think Lexi realizes how much her and Grant have in common. I mean, you see, so she's trying to get to Chucky so she can save her sister. She has so much love for her sister. And I think in these later episodes of Chucky, and you see how much love Grant has for his little brother, Henry.
Hmm.
And so they have that, they love their family. They'll do anything for their family. So I think Grant is able to forgive her more when he realizes like what's behind it. And he would do the same for his brother. And, they also have similar like family trauma things they're dealing with. So they do have this special connection, but yeah, things can get in the way when you're when you're trying to find a killer doll. But
That's hey.
um, yeah, I think no, I really do. I really do think Grant and Lexi have something special, and
Oh
going
yeah.
going through this experience, and I can't give anything away about the finale, but so I'm just gonna shut my mouth actually before I get in trouble, because it's so funny. I met a fan the other day,
Uh-huh.
and I 100% accidentally spoiled the entire show.
Oh my God,
It was so bad. He was just asking me questions, and I was like, "Yeah," blah, 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 blah. And he went, "What?" And I was like, "Oh my God,
you're like,
don't
don't post
you
that
you
online.
cannot say anything." Um, he hasn't yet, so
Good,
thank you.
good.
I see you. I know you are.
And one of the a scene I was cracking up laugh is when Grant is smoking pot and they're covering up because they're scared the parents are going to find out, and then you go to the next scene and they have this huge ass bong. And
Yeah. The bong is so comically large, and I think there was some controversy on set between some people making the show. Like, are we really gonna include this giant bong? But it's Chucky. Go big or go home. Come on,
right,
it's
yeah,
so
exactly.
funny. It's like,
Oh my God. And and I was I was telling you when we were chatting, like the last episode, not this one, the one before that, you actually see how good you are at music. Like you're playing the piano, and you and Grant and Lexi are singing "Don't Don't Don't Fear the Reaper," and you got like a really good voice, and you played really well. I like. Do you do music?
Um, so yeah, I grew up playing piano, and that's sort of
Okay.
my main instrument. I can play guitar, but extremely mediocrely. Extremely mediocre. But it was funny because I was reading the scripts, and then that came up. Oh, Grant plays the piano and sings. I'm like, they didn't ask me about that. They didn't ask me when they were casting me if I could sing or play piano. Did they just expect me like, oh, I'll do it? Um, but I was glad that I already knew how to play piano, and but we were shooting in Toronto, and so I had to go on like Facebook Marketplace and find like a $30 keyboard and bring it to my hotel room so I could practice um, and like learn those songs. And it was originally going to be a different Blue Oyster Cult song. Hold on, let me look
Oh,
up
really?
which one it was. Yeah, it was. And again, in the episode four, the Halloween episode, where Lexi and I have that um, scene in my room where we're
Hmm.
listening to music. It was gonna Don't Fear the Reaper plays, but oh yeah, okay. It was originally gonna be Burnin' for You, which is their other like big hit,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
but they changed it to Don't Fear the Reaper because it's like a callback to that scene with between Lexi and Caroline where she sings her that
Hmm.
lullaby. I think in season one. So it's kind of a sweet moment and a callback to their relationship, but yeah, I think it's a really fun moment in the show, and I'm glad we got to make it happen. But yeah, it was fun to have a music moment. The singing though, I don't think I'm a singer, so they slapped some auto tune on there. Yeah.
Well, I noticed you that Grant gave most of the singing to Le Lexi, but I mean the little bit I heard from you sounded good.
Well, thank you. Hopefully, there's no more Grant musical numbers in the future, but
Okay, there you
yeah.
go. And what about the kills? Like, what Chucky kill did you think was like the best one for the season?
Mm. Um, Probably have to give it to Keenan with the umbrella. That
Yeah,
one, that one, I remember watching it and having to like turn my head away and like is it over? Um, that one's pretty gnarly. Yeah.
yeah. Nah, that was a good one. The one I like is actually like the American flag where he's choking the um
Oh yeah.
Devin and Jake's foster person,
Oh,
and
Miss Fairchild. Yeah.
yes, with the American flag.
Yeah, that one's very symbolic and poetic and metaphorical.
It was insane.
Yeah. Yeah, you can read into that one.
Yeah, yeah.
What are they trying to say here? Is America suffocating us?
I know,
What
right?
is this?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And still going on our favorite killer doll, Chucky. He has the most funniest lines throughout the season. Do you have a favorite Chucky line? I know mine's was the
Mm.
last one where he wants to nuke the North Pole, and you think he's dead, and he just pops his head up and screams "Fuck Santa," and he hits the button and nukes the North
Yeah,
Pole.
that's a good one. Um, that was actually thrown in last minute. Like we were
Really?
reading the scripts, and there was nothing about Santa or the North Pole, or it was just like they were going to he was going to nuke the world, and then it got canceled,
Oh my
or
god.
they turned it off. But then I remember like someone being like, "Yeah," and then we're going to do the Santa North Pole thing. I was like, "What? What about Santa? What is happening?" But I'm glad that made it in. For me, so I have a favorite Chucky line of all time,
Oh,
and
all right.
it's in Bride of Chucky. But then I'll tell you my favorite line from this season.
Okay.
So the Bride of Chucky line is so the couple that's on the run from the law on the lam, they just got married, and Chucky says, "I give them 6 months, three if she gains weight."
I do
And
remember that.
I don't know why, but that line is so, it's just awful. It's just that it's so funny to me.
I do remember that one.
It's so cynical. My favorite line from this season is when he goes to try to kill my mom,
Hmm.
the first lady, and then she just leaves, and he doesn't do anything, and then he just goes, now I can't even get it up. I can't get it up anymore, or something like that.
Yeah,
Like, it's just some. So there are some ones I just can't believe they get to say it on
I know,
TV. That's one
right?
of them. That's one of them. Where I'm just like, wow, okay,
And when you're covered in blood, is it hard to get the blood off, like after your scenes are done?
yeah, yeah. This one, so basically, we from that moment on, in that episode, we have blood on us the entire time, and so every day coming into work, it was just you show up to work, you've showered at home, you're nice and clean, and then you just show up and they gunk you down with
Oh yeah,
it's in your hair, it's in your ears, it's on your skin. It's one of those things. So a lot of showers and yeah, it's sticky stuff. It's not fun, but
yeah, I bet, yeah.
it looks great. It looks great. Day one is fun. Day two, still fun. Day three, a little less fun, and then on your second week, you're kind of over it a little bit. But
That's true. And and like, what do you think, like, y y your character thinks, like, when Jake and Devin, like, because at one point he wants to be alone with Lexi, but she's always bringing the friends. And
mm,
do you think he ever gets tired of, like, all right, come on now, like, I want to be alone with you.
yeah,
Why are you always bringing your friends?
yeah, definitely. And I think he even says that. Like, he's like, he invites her over for a movie night, and she's like, "Well, can Jake and Devin come?" And I'm like, "Why? Like, I don't even think those guys like me." Like, yeah, and so yeah, it's kind of I'm kind of fourth wheeling a little
I
bit
know, right?
with their trio.
Exactly.
It's so funny. We always laugh. That one moment in episode 7 where Jake's like, I have to die. And then they're like, well, if you're dying, we have to too. Like, we're coming with you. Lexi says that about her and
Hmm.
Devin. And then Grant just stands up and goes, 4, I'm coming too. And we always, when we were shooting that, we would joke like, that they turn to me and like, no, you're not. Like, you're not a part of this. Don't try to insert yourself. And like Grant is trying to be like, oh, I'm coming too. I'll die
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
And they're just like,
exactly.
all right, no, you're not a part of this. Poor Grant.
I know, it's a shame for Grant. Like, his world got turned upside down. He just found out there was a killer doll in the house killing everybody, and now they don't want him to be part of the pact, right?
Yeah, well, that we're just joking about that, but it would be so funny if they just shut him down like that. I don't know. That just sounds so funny. Where he's like, he has this big moment, like, 4, I'm coming too. No, you just stay here. Just stay out of this, please. This is the terror trio, okay? It's
Yeah,
not terror quadruple, okay? There's all the roles are filled. So, all right,
and
stay in your lane.
did you have a scene that you had the most fun with, like a scene involving Grant, of course?
Yeah, easily the seance scene.
Oh yeah, that was
That
fun.
so
That was
okay, so
fun.
everyone has been saying that episode 8 is the best episode and their favorite of the season. Episode 7 is mine. I don't think you can beat that seance scene. It's so cool.
That was
And
awesome.
we're all around the table and Brad Dourif is there and as Chucky, and then it rains blood.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's just so cool. And filming that was incredible. We spent a few days around that table, and I love scenes when it's a big cast. I think
Yeah.
we had, around maybe 10 people in that room in that scene. And it's like we're just cracking each other up. Like we're sitting there in between takes, like doing rap battles and stuff like that. And it was so fun when they released the blood and it's raining on all of us. And they did that cool, like, 360 tracking
Yes.
shot. And
Yes.
Like, yeah, it was just so cool. That's probably the most fun I've had filming a scene.
Just having Brad Dourif screaming in your face and dropping the Chucky F bombs. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how you were able to keep a straight face with that. I would have been cracking up laughing. Like,
No, it was the opposite for me.
really?
I was genuinely scared because he has this voice to him that
I know.
is
You're right. You're
powerful.
right.
And when he was in that room and letting it fly, it is loud and it's
Oh,
terrifying. And we had so they had some stuff rigged around the room. So when you see the paper flying, that's all actually happening. So they had these huge fans that are like blowing this paper, and then they had when you see the curtains, billowing and ruffling, that's
yeah.
because they had these I don't know what you call them. It's like air pressure canisters that would go off and they're really loud. They're like like just they're kind of like jump scares. So you'll see our characters like jumping and it's because
Oh
all these
no.
random noises are appearing everywhere and then a gust of wind will hit you and then the lights will go out and it was all we would shoot the whole sequence and so it's really kind of frightening and you're kind of
Wow.
on
Yeah,
edge.
yeah, that sounds
And
like it.
I remember the first time I heard Brad do his big cackle, it gave me chills. It gave me goosebumps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's nuts. And you also have something else that's not horror out. Hard Miles. I interviewed you and the other cast about the film.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a great film. Yeah, you're one of the stars in it. Matthew Mo Dean is like the lead. And what was the whole experience like filming that, and how many hours did you do like bike riding for?
Mm. That again, that movie was so fun to make. That's some of the most fun I've ever had on a film. We were outside every day. We're riding our bikes every day. We're filming in multiple states, and Matthew's the best. But we also had this great young cast, and I love filming with kids my age,
Yeah.
and it was just a good time, and we were having way too much fun out there in the middle of nowhere doing late night McDonald's runs and just hanging out, and it felt like summer camp. And with the biking though, we were riding pretty much every day,
Wow.
and it was just you get used to it. I mean, we all knew what we were signing up for, and I love bike riding, so I just had a great time with it.
Ah, nice. I love it. I love it. I love riding bikes too. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you recently just came to Philly where I live at, and how was your Philly trip besides being sick? Like how was the
yeah.
other days?
Yeah, I got really sick when I first got there, so I was bedridden for like 3 or 4 days.
Ugh.
But then afterward, I actually rode my bike around the city. So
Oh,
that one,
sweet.
I don't know any of the areas, but there's that one like river with the bike path and walk
Yes.
and those big
Yes.
parks. So I went and explored all of that. Had a Philly cheesesteak. Yeah, kind of ticked the boxes. I love that city. And
So,
my friend Damien, who's on Hard Miles with me, he
mhm.
was there at the same time I was there, so we went and we hung out, and
Oh, that's
it was
awesome.
good to see him. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And the cheesesteak you got, was it a good one or was it a bad one? Because a lot of Philly places say it's good, but some of them aren't really
Hmm.
that good.
Hmm. Wait, do you remember? Do you remember the name of it? It
Uh,
started with a C.
yeah, Camp, Campos. You mean?
Campos. Campos. That's right. Um, Shout out Campos. I mean, it was good. Again, I've had one, so I have no point of reference. It could have been awful, but it was good. Good for me.
Okay, there you go.
I'm easy to please.
And did you get out of breath running up the steps, the famous Rocky steps?
Rocky Steps. Yeah, you know put in the soundtrack, ran up and down, and I looked like the biggest tourist ever. But you got to do it. You got to throw the hands in there. You got to say Adrian.
Exactly.
You got to do the jump. Come on. Yeah,
No, yeah, yeah, of course, of course.
yeah.
Funny story with him. Like when he was here to film Creed, I actually met him, and I went up to him because I go by Rocco and I go by Rocky too. So I go up to him and I shake his hand like, my name's Rocky. He went, no, really, what's your name? I was like, it's Rocky. And then he made me
Rocky.
take out my IED card and he looked, he went, okay, I guess you really are, he said.
You're the real Rocky. Rocky. People call you Rocky too.
Yeah, I'm actually Rocky 3. My dad is Rocky. I'm actually the third in like the
You're the
line.
third.
So like
Wow,
when I write my name, I actually have to put the third after the name.
that's
So
great.
I'm Rocky 3.
Well, okay. If you ever have a son, are you continuing the trend? Is he Rocky Four?
I guess so. Yeah, right?
Is there a Rocky? Yeah, there's a Rocky Four.
Yeah,
There's like five of
there
them, right?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like
Is
6 of them, I think.
Yeah, which is the one with the Russian guy? Like
That's the fourth one.
that is the fourth one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right.
There you go.
I know my Rocky. Come on.
I know. I
Yeah,
see
there we
that.
go.
Nice. And when you're not filming, what do you like doing during your free time?
Man, I'm an outdoorsy guy. I love walking, which sounds weird, but I just love walking. So my sort of my happy place is like listening to music and just walking, exploring. And so music is probably my biggest passion outside of acting, not making music, but just ingesting it and listening to it. And I'm on a big I'm really into John Prine right now.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
that like I'm going down a John Prine rabbit hole. I'm obsessed with this song, Aw Heck. It's so cute. So listen to Aw Heck, John Prine. That's what I'm listening to right.
Okay. Who are some of the bands or artists you like listening to?
Okay, so I'm a Spotify guy. I know that's controversial, but I am on Spotify. They got me. Um, and Neil Young and Joni Mitchell, they just put their music back on. So
Hmm.
I'm going on a Joni Mitchell, Neil Young binge.
Nice, nice.
Um, some some Neil Young tracks. Everybody knows this is nowhere is really good. The Loner is really
Yes.
good. Um, and then Joni Mitchell, she has a cover of this song that's from the 50s called You're So Square, Baby, I Don't Care.
Uh-huh.
That's really good. And then I love Coyote. That's another one of hers that I really like.
Nice.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Well, you know, Neil Young actually announced he's coming on tour.
So I
Yes.
might be getting tickets, but I might be out of town. I might be working. But
Oh, that
yeah, he's going
sucks.
on a tour with Crazy Horse. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's going on tour.
I would love to see him. I'm actually seeing Joni this year. I'm so excited.
Wait, you are?
Yeah, I'm seeing her in October. I'm
Oh my
so
God, that's
excited.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nice, nice. I
yeah.
like that.
She's a legend. I admire her so much. So I can't wait for that.
Oh, that's so
Like
awesome.
my biggest idols and inspirations are musicians. Like I love actors and I'm obsessed with actors, but the
Hmm.
people I really like look up to are musicians. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So what would be your go-to karaoke song? Is it Don't Fear the Reaper or is it another one?
So funny enough that we changed the key of the song because neither of us could sing whatever key it was in. So we found one that fit kind of our vocal range. So if I tried to sing the actual song, it would not work. It's funny, I have a playlist called karaoke. Let me find it
Oh, you
here
do?
and and throw out some tracks. I've only done karaoke once, and I did a David Bowie song and it
Oh,
didn't work
okay.
very well. Okay, here we go. Here's some. Um, Anne by Glenn Campbell.
Hmm.
On the Road Again, Willie Nelson. That would be a crowd pleaser.
Oh,
That's
definitely.
that's that's for the crowd. Um, let's see here. These are all so um, boring. Like these would like bring down the mood in a karaoke bar. These are not good karaoke songs. Um, I'll be here in the morning, Towns Van Sant. Somebody that I used to know, Elliott Smith.
All
Like,
right,
okay,
okay.
I'm realizing these are really sad songs. Um, Stand By Your Man, Tammy Wynette. Yeah, those are again bad picks, but they're very Jackson Kelly coded. So they would make me happy, and everyone else in the karaoke bar would just be like, "Oh my God, what is this guy singing? Please."
They're like, oh my God, I feel down now.
I know he's this kid must be going through something.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone do a Pitbull song, please.
And, are do you play sports or watch sports or are you into
No,
sports at all?
no. Um, but I don't keep. But like, if it's I don't keep track of them. I love uh, I like watching them when they're on and I can get
Hmm.
into it. Scratch an AirPod. Um, yeah, I don't follow. Oh, Caitlin Clark though. I'm a fan of her.
Okay, okay.
She's a badass. Like I was just watching like highlight reels of her the other day. She's just like it's like a thing of beauty the way she plays basketball. It's crazy.
Yes,
Like she'll
definitely.
do like a no looker behind the back assist, and I'm like, it's or she'll do like a half court shot, and it's like nothing to her. So watching someone like that is that's cool to me. Um, but yeah, I don't really have like a team
Yeah, yeah.
or anything. But I went to when I was filming in Toronto, I went to a Blue Jays game, and
Sweet.
that was really fun. So yeah, I can respect it. I can get behind it.
What about like the Marvel and DC and all that stuff? Do you have a suit superhero that you like most?
Oh, so here's the thing with the Marvel stuff is again, like Chucky, there's so much lore,
Yeah.
and I think I missed like a couple quintessential films, and then just was like so lost. Like I was there for the original Avengers and OG Iron Man. My
Hmm.
butt was in the theater, and then I missed Winter Soldier and Civil War, and then I went and saw like Infinity War or Endgame or something, and I was like, "What is happening? What is going on?" But I like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are good.
They are. They are.
I just recently watched those. Steven Spielberg has said like the first Guardians of the Galaxy, it's in like his top. I don't want to speak for the man, but I'm like telling Spielberg what he likes.
Yeah,
You like
right.
this movie. You like this movie, don't you? No, I think I read some of it. It's in like his top 100 movies,
Really?
which
Okay.
is cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
And do you have anything coming up that you want to plug? I mean, we all know that the
Mm,
season finale of Chucky's coming up, but do you have anything else on the
yep.
burner that you're allowed to say or
So that's the thing. I would, but I can't say it yet. It hasn't been announced in a minute, but I'm filming a new show in Atlanta right now, and I'm really excited about it. And it's really, I can't wait to talk
awesome?
about it and for it to come out. And then I just shot a horror movie
Nice.
in Kentucky, weirdly. Um, but that's gonna be hopefully it's coming out this October, and that one is I'm really excited for because it's not again I can't say anything, but it's kind of like Chucky. It's a little campy. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So I have a more funny character in that. So I'm excited for people to watch that.
Nice. And the last thing I will ask you is where could fans follow you at?
This is new to me. So I did not have social media at all until this year. I had nothing.
Wait, really?
Um, yeah, so no Instagram, no Twitter, no
Oh,
Facebook or
wow.
Snapchat or TikTok. So I still don't have any of that other stuff. I just have Instagram and I'm terrible at it. I'm so bad at it. But I kind of got roped into it by my good friend Allie.
Here
Thank
you
you,
go.
Allie. So I got roped into it, but I'm on Instagram at what is my username? Jackson Reed Kelly, the full legal name.
Hey, that
Uh,
they all know it's you though.
it's legit. It's like the government birth certificate name. We're not playing around. Yeah.
Oh
No,
man. Well, I want to thank you so much for doing this. It was really fun chatting with
you're
you.
the best,
Like I
Rocco. This is so fun, man.
Oh my God, you're so awesome. You really are. Like when you come down again to visit Philly, I'll show you where the Sylvester Stallone place is at, that
Oh
Rocky
yeah, yeah.
restaurant where they
Okay,
filmed that.
let's do it. That sounds good.
All right, sounds like a plan. All right, buddy. Well, thank you again for doing this and have an
Yeah,
amazing weekend.
thanks. You too.
Okay.
See ya.